Hello and welcome to HW News English. Welcome to another live session. We're back with another news in a matter of couple of hours. This one is from the state of Maharashtra. The Speaker of the Maharashtra Assembly, Rahul Narwekar, has ruled that the Ajit Pawar faction of the Nationalist Congress Party is the real NCP. Now, if you're just joining us and don't know much about the dispute, so Ajit Pawar, who's the nephew of Sharad Pawar, he quit, or rather, he took a bunch of MLAs with him and he joined the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Shiv Sena government in Maharashtra. Now the battle ensued as to who the real NCP is. Earlier in this month, we had the Election Commission who awarded the name and symbol of the NCP, which is the clock, and the name, which is the Nationalist Congress Party, to Ajit Pawar. Now the Maharashtra Speaker has said that since Ajit Pawar has an overwhelming legislative majority, which is basically that he has the majority of lawmakers by his side, hence, he is the real NCP. Now, a couple of questions here. What does this mean for Sharad Pawar? What does this mean for the NCP at large? Remember, Sharad Pawar now has his separate faction that's called the Nationalist or the NCP Sharad Chandra Pawar. That's the name of his group that he heads now. So, again, it's a murky situation as far as Maharashtra is concerned. We've seen that happen over the last 3-4 years now, with two parties being split right down the middle. In this discussion, we'll focus on what does it mean for the NCP, what is the whole game plan now with, again, polls a few months from now. Maharashtra Assembly polls are also due this year. So what does it mean for Sharad Pawar? What does it mean for Ajit Pawar? What does it mean for state politics at large? Joining us now is Sujit Nair, HW News Managing Editor. Sujit, how do you see the first reaction on the disqualification plea, where the Speaker has said Ajit Pawar is the real NCP and MLAs from neither side are disqualified. Both stay as it is, but it's Ajit Pawar who's the real NCP.
We have seen it. Sorry, I was unmuted, I guess. Okay, I'll start again. I am not surprised, Shubham. I am not surprised because we have seen this before. We have seen this before with Shiv Sena, and we have seen everything is status quo. Uddhav Thackeray also gets his MLAs. Shinde also gets his MLAs. Everything is sab changasi. So that's what happened here also. Nothing different. I was expecting that the Speaker will rule for Ajit Pawar, and that's what it did. Everything is going to be status quo. So Ajit Pawar will maintain his MLAs, Mr. Sharad Pawar will maintain his MLAs, and everything is good. You see, very interestingly, you will have a lot more guests in the next 5-10 minutes, I guess, Shubham. So I will put in my everything before your other guests arrives. You see, I am telling you, we in Maharashtra, we are very interesting. We have got a very interesting democracy, and I will tell you what I mean by that. You see, Maharashtra possibly is the only state where you have a Shiv Sena sitting in the treasury bench and a Shiv Sena sitting in the opposition. Maharashtra possibly is now the only state which has got an NCP sitting in the treasury bench and now an NCP sitting in the opposition. So, it's like the voters are the least involved in Maharashtra politics, the least involved. I mean, why Maharashtra politics? It's happening all over the country, but especially in Maharashtra politics. Because who jumps from where to where, one doesn't know. Uddhav Thackeray jumped from BJP Shiv Sena alliance and joined MBA and made MBA to that extent. Okay, so the voters had voted him to be part of BJP. Then Shinde group left MBA, joined BJP. Now NCP group left MBA, joined BJP. Now, a lot of Congress people are told, I'm told that there is going to be a large contingent of Congress MLAs who are supposed to join BJP alliance. So, what is happening and what is going on? And the Speaker, his ruling is going to be same everywhere. So, I don't see much of excitement or much of surprise or much of anything happening here. That's my point of view, Shubham.
Right. For our audience, we'll just give you some context here. What we saw with Ajit Pawar last year, July 2023, was when he went with the BJP and the Shiv Sena alliance in the state. He took oath as the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra. A similar thing had happened a year prior, which is 2022. That was when Eknath Shinde from the original Shiv Sena, he, along with a bunch of MLAs, around 40 of them, went to Surat, then Guwahati, then came back and then joined the Bharatiya Janata Party. And a similar chronology of events happened in the case of Eknath Shinde as well. The matter went to court. The Supreme Court said that the Speaker will decide it. Meanwhile, the Election Commission had said that the bow and arrow symbol and the name, which is Shiv Sena, is with Eknath Shinde because he has the majority. Majority as in the legislative majority of MLAs with him and MPs as well. Now, in the case of NCP, cut to 2023, a similar thing happens. Ajit Pawar walks out, joins the Mahayuti, as this alliance is called. The matter went to the court, and now the Speaker was entrusted with deciding as to who the real NCP is. February 15, that's today, was the deadline for the Speaker to give his verdict. And meanwhile, in the first week of February itself, the Election Commission decided that Ajit Pawar, like in the case of Shiv Sena, since he has the majority of MLAs, the legislative majority, now he will be the real party. But Sujit, before we have other guests, we have a couple of guests in the waiting to join us. Before we get to that, just one quick question on Sharad Pawar. Now, what does this mean for the grand old man of Maharashtra politics? He saw his, like Uddhav Thackeray saw his name, his symbol being taken away from him. Now Shiv Sena, the Uddhav Thackeray camp is now Shiv Sena Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray. And now, as for the Rajya Sabha polls, Sharad Pawar's group is NCP Sharad Chandra Pawar. But politically, besides the name and the symbol, politically, what does it mean for Sharad Pawar? Is it the end of the road for him? Is there some more twists left as far as Maharashtra is concerned? How do you see Sharad Pawar's future now?
You said Uddhav Thackeray's symbol was taken away from him. Uddhav Thackeray's party was taken away from him. There I agree to you 100%. There is no doubt about it. Okay, and you can see it on ground also. Shinde, Shiv Sena, Uddhav Sena, whenever they meet, they end up in clashes. So Uddhav Thackeray, I have no doubt what you said is absolutely correct. But Sharad Pawar, I don't know whether Sharad Pawar's symbol has been taken away from him or he is given it. Let us be very clear about it. I don't know whether the split that happened is something that Sharad Pawar wasn't aware, Sharad Pawar was aware. I am not sure. I don't know. So I will not comment saying that, it was taken away from him or, this thing. As far as end of the road is concerned, you see, Sharad Pawar defines his road. Sharad Pawar defines his politics. Okay. Now, if Sharad Pawar, my point of view, if Sharad Pawar genuinely wants to fight Ajit Pawar and the original NCP now, the easiest thing for him to do is join Congress, merge with Congress, which I am told he has refused. He has refused this kind of merger, which is what I am told. I don't have confirmed sources, but I have been told. So the best way to actually combat was to merge with Congress. What could have happened? The Congress would have been stronger in the state. Shiv Sena would have been stronger in the state because it's Shiv Sena Congress alliance with NCP at the moment. So Shiv Sena would have been stronger in the states. The parliamentary election, the Lok Sabha election, would have seen a very strong opposition in Maharashtra. I'm not saying therefore they will win lots of seats, but they would have seen a strong opposition in Maharashtra. At least BJP wouldn't have done the 42 out of 48 which they did in 2019 in 2024. That would be difficult for BJP had NCP Sharad Pawar integrated with Congress, but that's not going to happen. So the point is, first, this is not going to strengthen neither Congress nor Sharad Pawar. Now, if Sharad Pawar continues to be in MBA, there will always be a doubt. There will always be a doubt whether after getting the anti-Modi votes, which a lot of them would go to Sharad Pawar's NCP, after getting the anti-Modi votes, Sharad Pawar may decide to go and join Bharatiya Janata Party. This is a strong possibility, and believe me, even Congress and Shiv Sena is not going to completely say no to this. He's not going to say no to this. Hearts of hearts, even Congress and Shiv Sena is also worried that there is a chance that Sharad Pawar may take the anti-Modi votes in 2024, stand with MBA, and once the election is over, may go to BJP and hand over that seats to BJP and come and possibly retire. This is a strong possibility. This is number one. Else, the best way for Sharad Pawar right now is to merge with Congress party. Now, the reason why I said yesterday, and I continue to say today, that they may not merge, it is not possible, it is not going to be likely that Sharad Pawar merges, is because Sharad Pawar never operates in a situation where he doesn't have options. The moment he merges with Congress, his option ceases. He never has an option now than to go back to BJP. So the option ceases. So therefore, Sharad Pawar naturally may not want to merge with Congress. Secondly, I think I still am not very sure whether all this is because Sharad Pawar wanted it so, or all this happened because Ajit Pawar one day got and thought that he would start his own party or he would split and all that. I have my doubts. I have my doubts whether people like Valse Patil, who has been Sharad Pawar's secretary at one point in time, who grew, who learned politics because of Sharad Pawar, would leave and go to Ajit Pawar. I have my doubts whether Praful Patel, whose entire political career has been shaped by Sharad Pawar, will leave Sharad Pawar and go to Ajit Pawar. I have my own doubts. I always had my doubts and I still have my doubts. And my doubts will be more clearer once Sharad Pawar refuses to merge with Congress. Because then his intentions are very, to my mind, I am just saying, to my mind, his intentions are very clear. Let's see the other guests who are joining you, who are more into NCP and has more knowledge about NCP. Let us see their views also. But this is what I think, Shubham.
Yes. On the merger front, Sujit, for the benefit of our audience, there were rumors that were circulating on social media that the Sharad Pawar-led faction of the NCP will merge with the Congress. This was after reports said that Sharad Pawar held meeting with top Congress leaders in Maharashtra to sort of chart out the course of action going forward. But then leaders from the Sharad Pawar faction categorically denied any such rumors of the NCP faction of Sharad Pawar merging with the Congress party. Again, just to reiterate, the speaker has ruled in favor of Ajit Pawar. He said that Ajit Pawar is the real NCP. As far as legislative majority, what we mentioned earlier, out of the 53 MLAs that are in total of the NCP, of the undivided NCP, 41 of them are with Ajit Pawar. This is what the speaker has said. Since he has, and the remaining are with Sharad Pawar, which means that Ajit Pawar has the legislative majority with him. Hence, he is the real NCP. We are trying to line up. If we can see, we have some other guests joining us as well. We have two of our fine journalists with us now on the live. First, we have Shashank. In fact, Baramati is the stronghold of the Pawar. It's the Pawar bastion as far as the Pawar family is concerned. And we have Sanjay Jog with us, a senior journalist who tracks Maharashtra politics closely. Shashank, I'll first come to you. You are at Baramati. You are outside, if I'm not wrong, the NCP office in Baramati. What is the mood there at the moment? Are workers celebrating? How is the mood? Can you just give us a quick update on that? Shashank, I think your audio is on mute. Right, there's Shashank. There seems to be an audio issue. We'll try and get that sorted.
Shubham, what I was saying is that the supporters of the NCP Ajit faction are on their way. They are celebrating. It's their day because now Assembly Speaker Rahul Narwekar has given the judgment in favor of the Ajit Pawar faction, and that Ajit Pawar faction is the real NCP. So right now you can see behind me, I am. You can see that NCP flags are behind me, and I am at the Baramati office of the NCP Ajit Pawar faction. So as of now, the people are yet to come here. Celebrations are yet to be begun, but soon there are going to be celebrations being held here.
So you're saying that the office has a more support for the Ajit Pawar faction. How is the mood there? I think we've lost Shashank. Okay, while we get back to Shashank, Mr. Jog, I'll come to you. Your first reaction on the verdict? Is it a major setback to Sharad Pawar? Your first thoughts?
I was very much there when Speaker was pronouncing the order. Quite very interesting. 2-3 takeaways. We should not, say that it is almost a similar judgment that he delivered in case of Shiv Sena versus Shiv Sena, because that time there was an issue of a whip. Here there was no issue of whip. So clearly, it is undoubtedly a setback for Sharad Pawar faction. But very interestingly, he has not entered into a domain of defection. What he said is that he said that even he is not, as a speaker, he is not there to take care of intra-party dissent. That's quite interesting under 10th schedule. And the third, what he says that by using or exploiting the 10th schedule provision, if you are going to take up such kind of petitions, then I think again speaker has no role to play in this intra-party dissent. So I think largely, the question about a 10th schedule and its applicability still remains, because there has been an issue that was raised by Sharad Pawar group, is that if the 9 senior MLAs joining the Shinde Fadnavis government as a minister was nothing but a defection, and under the 10th schedule, they should be attracting disqualification, because under this 10th schedule, these 9 people would have had to merge with either faction or set up a new kind of a group, which they have not done. So that question or the legal matter will continue to be debated again and again. But very interestingly, with today's judgment, this a post election commission order, it is definitely a kind of a much needed relief which Ajit Pawar group was looking at, so that they want to continue with what they have decided, quote unquote, their poll strategy for going and aligning with the Mahashakti's poll strategy. But when it comes to Sharad Pawar group has already definitely making its mind to challenge in the Supreme Court. They have already challenged the order given by Election Commission of India. Thirdly, very interestingly, in the Supreme Court yesterday, they have been told to give 3 names and 3 symbols they are giving. So Mr. Pawar has already ruled out a possibility of merger in the Congress. So he is prepared to go and reach out to the voters with the new symbol and with new name. So how the things will take shape, we'll have to wait and watch. But right now, at this point in time, this is definitely a point to celebrate for Ajit Pawar faction, while it's definitely a situation wherein Sharad Pawar will continue to fight. Let's see how he is going to take it forward.
Mr. Jog, I have a fundamental question to ask you here. I would like to get your thoughts in. Since both the splits happened, Shiv Sena split and the NCP split, in both the cases, the speaker said that neither MLAs from neither side are disqualified. In fact, what he said today, like you mentioned of intra-dissent, the events clearly amounted to intra-party dissent. This conflict was clearly within the political party. Going against wishes of Sharad Pawar cannot be seen as an act of leaving the party. Then my question is, which is the real party then? You have an NCP sitting in the opposition benches. Then you also have another faction of NCP which is sitting in the treasury benches. So who exactly is the real party? Now, of course, on paper, on legislative majority, the speaker said that it is Ajit Pawar. But then if he's saying that the events clearly amount to just intra-party dissent and nothing more than that, does that mean that both sides belong to the same party in that case?
Shubham, let me be very clear. Since day one, Ajit Pawar group has been saying that we all are NCP. So they are not there to agree to a kind of a contention that there is a split. Already, Election Commission in the first thing only said that there is a split. The faction has taken place. Now, with today's thing, again, the issue remains. Interestingly, the speaker has not touched upon the argument that the Sharad Pawar group has said about there is a definite difference between the political party and a legislative party. The legislative party is with a minimum period of that 5-year tenure. Our legislator is getting elected for 5 years, so that all put together becomes a legislative party. But the party organization is totally different, so that still remains an issue. Now, looking at what your question about what is to be treated as whether one party or now, that they will have decided, because the speaker has not even entered into that domain. He only has restricted about a dissent and differentiating with the defection. Now there will be 2 sessions that are remain. On the 25th and 21st, there will be a 2-day session which will take place on basically bringing in a new legislation, giving reservation to Maratha community. And from 26th of this month to March 1st, there will be a kind of a mini session wherein the finance minister will present a vote on account. So in that scenario, there won't be a question of issuing any kind of a whip. So that does not arises whether the Ajit Pawar faction, which is sided with Shinde and Fadnavis, will remain with the government, while Sharad Pawar led the 12 legislators will continue to sit with the Mahavikas Aghadi partners.
Right. You said that the talks of a merger of the Sharad Pawar faction with the Congress has been ruled out. Could you just elaborate a bit more on what does it mean for Sharad Pawar
No.
politically?
No, Shubham, I think again, this is a story which has been played up by the media. None of this Sharad Pawar led, either Mr. Sharad Pawar, Supriya, or their legislators have talked even for merger. No question of any merger. That's what they have been repeatedly saying. Just to tell you, don't go on, rushing this thing. We'll have to take a little back to the viewers. 1999, when Sharad Pawar was expelled and formed this party, since then there used to be a talk. I have been covering it for 25 years, NCP. So there has been always a talk of, and the question we used to ask Mr. Pawar and his so-called district tycoons. Most of them have sided with Ajit Pawar. Whether are you going to merge with the Congress? Mr. Sharad Pawar, as well as his so-called earlier associates, now a kind of his political rivals, have ruled out a possibility, saying that NCP has been formed on a plank of self-respect, Swa Abhiman, no question of merger. So again, yesterday also they did the same thing. Second thing, what Mr. Pawar has asked, whatever the lieutenants which he has got, basically to prepare for the elections, also to mingle with the Congress, Shiva Sena, Uddhav Thackeray, and the other like-minded parties. If at all Vanchit Bahujan Aghadi also joins Mahavikas Aghadi, to have a kind of a united activities while going for ensuing Lok Sabha election. So at this point in time, I don't think Mr. Sharad Pawar is at all having any mind basically to go in for a merger. This, as one of his party legislators said, it is nothing but a figment of imagination of a press and media.
Right. We'll go back to Shashank if we still have Shashank with us. Shashank, I hope you can hear me now.
Yeah. We have Karyakartas of the NCP. I'd just like to speak to them. Sir, अजीत दादा के सपोर्ट में निर्णय निकला है. अजीत पवार गट को अब असली एनसीपी का दर्जा मिल गया है, तो आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
अभी हमको ये जस्टिस सुन के खुशी हो गई, लेकिन महाराष्ट्र के सभी जो पार्टी के कार्यकर्ता हैं, पार्टी के सभी जिलों के प्रेसिडेंट है और उधर की तालुका तहसील की कमेटी है, सभी कमेटी और एमएलए एमपी, सभी एमपी, बहुतांश एमपी ने एमएलए ने आदरणीय दादा को अपने का पाठिंबा दे दिया है. इसी वास्ते दादा को यहाँ पार्टी प्रेसिडेंट ने घोषित कर दिया है.
अभी लेकिन पवार साहब के साथ क्या आप लोग नहीं है क्या? मतलब पवार साहब के लिए क्या, मतलब
हम तो आदरणीय दादा के राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेस पार्टी के साथ है.
अच्छा, और आप कुछ कहना चाहिए सर?
माननीय अजितदादा पवार यांच्या माध्यमातून आज राष्ट्रवादी वैद्यकीय मदत कक्ष, त्याचप्रमाणे त्यांनी बनवलेले विविध सेल्स आहेत, हे सर्व यहाँ से आप जानना चाहते हैं कि अजितदादा के साथ पूरा महाराष्ट्र है, पूरे महाराष्ट्र के साथ अजितदादा है, इसीलिए हम सभी अजितदादा पवार साहब के साथ है, यही मैं कहना चाहूंगा.
So you heard the voices of NCP Karyakartas who are with the...
What happens, Shashank? What happens to Pawar? What happens there? What is their view on?
The slogans have started.
I think. What happens to Mr. Pawar? What is their view on Mr. Pawar and his leadership?
I think we've lost Shashank there again.
Okay, fair enough.
Shashank, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, tell me, please.
Okay.
I just wanted to. Sorry, please. Shubham.
Shashank, you were in Baramati the entire day today. How has the mood there been like? Because it's been more than 6 months since Ajit Pawar went with the Bharatiya Janata Party alliance in the state and became the deputy chief minister. How is the mood? How is the cadre in Baramati, which is the Pawar bastion, the bastion of the Pawar family, where Sharad Pawar all these years was arguably the biggest leader in Baramati and eventually one of the biggest leaders of Maharashtra. You spent the day in Baramati today. How was the mood there? Like, how are people seeing this politically? Because we've seen in the past, Ajit Pawar has gone with the BJP, the infamous oath-taking ceremony in early morning with Devendra Fadnavis after the 2019 elections, where Ajit Pawar went with Devendra Fadnavis to become the deputy CM, only to come back within 48 hours. And then in 2023, we saw Ajit Pawar going with Devendra Fadnavis and Eknath Shinde this time, and becoming the deputy chief minister. So, how are people perceiving these events on ground, and do you think that this could have a impact politically or electorally as we head into a crucial election season, not just nationally but in Maharashtra itself as well?
Yeah, so Shubham, since 1980s, the Pawar family has been, it's their bastion, as you rightly said, Baramati. First, it was Sharad Pawar's seat, then Ajit Pawar fought Lok Sabha from that seat, then Supriya Sule. Now, Ajit Pawar is the MLA from that seat, and Supriya Sule is the MP. So, this is the first time that voters of Baramati are going to face a dilemma because they will have to choose now. Nobody is ready to speak on camera about which side they are, because it is a very difficult situation for them, something which is unprecedented. However, there is a
I
sympathy
think
for Mr. Pawar.
the audio is absolutely unclear. The audio is unclear. I think we should give it a
And we'll
break
come
because
back to
it
you
is
if we
not
can,
visible.
fix your audio. Sujit, I'll take that question to you then. Now, this is again 2 months before national elections, and say around 6 months before Lok Sabha elections. In the case of the NCP, what we saw compared to the Shiv Sena, in Shiv Sena, the split and the acrimony was absolutely clear. When Eknath Shinde split, he went with a bunch of MLAs and MPs later joined him. He said, I am the real Shiv Sena. And there was real acrimony one could see on ground, even as far as the local cadre was concerned. As far as the NCP is concerned, it's a bit more iffy. People are not sure if Ajit Pawar has actually split. Has he gone with the blessings of Mr. Pawar? Or how that is playing out. So how do you see this grey area as far as the NCP is concerned? If you juxtapose it with, say, the Shiv Sena.
See, I was just hearing Mr. Jog say that it is about asmita and self-respect and all that. I'm surprised because the same NCP went and joined aligned with Congress after splitting from Congress. And then the same NCP, just recently, Mr. Pawar spoke about the googly and all of that when they were trying to align with Bharatiya Janata Party in 2019. And this is the same NCP now. The whole question whether this split is real, this split is not real. So I don't know in all of this where is the asmita and where is the self-respect and all that. I don't know. I'm sure there is, but I can't. I don't know. That's one. Secondly, like I said. Shubham, the sheer fact that we are sitting here and questioning whether all this is made up or is it real, the sheer fact that we are sitting and questioning here in a democracy, that itself is a sad part of a story. Forget about whether what is going to happen tomorrow. What is happening today and what we are discussing itself is shame on democracy, because this is not what you do with your mandate. This is not how you use your mandate. Your mandate is given for your ideology, for what you've done and for what you want to do. And that just can't, you can't just take the mandate and then jump sides and then split and then half goes there, half goes here. I don't think that is the way the mandate should be worked. I would want to ask Mr. Jog, he's a senior journalist and seen politics for a long time. Mr. Jog, do you really think that what is happening, by taking mandate, splitting, people discussing whether ye sachi hai, ye sachi nahi hai, is this fair in a democracy? Let's talk about, not about politics, but about our democracy. Is it fair?
Not at all. I will definitely see that. Then where is the constitutional norms, constitutional provision? Then much touted what they talked about, the legislative rules and norms. Where are they? The 10th schedule. Where is the application of the 10th schedule? What happens to the anti-defection law, which was earlier brought by Rajiv Gandhi and later amended by Bajpayee government? So where is these provisions applicable right now, and what is happening on that? What you rightly said is that it is definitely not acceptable for a general voter or a common man that say, can you believe it? Since 2019, this is the third government in Maharashtra. Maharashtra has always been looked at as a progressive state, which has been always looked at as a role model, not just in politics, but across. Now look at where are we reaching and where are we comparing? Are we comparing with Bihar? Again, Bihar has got the third, time the Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has taken oath recently. So I really feel this is a sad story when we talked about the Indian politics and particularly in a democratic setup like ours, and where the voters, what they have cast the votes, are not being honored. In fact, this is nothing but a kind of a contempt of their vote that they have cast during the voting period. I think this is definitely a kind of a scenario wherein cutting across all political parties and ideologies will have to sit together and take a call whether, say, if a person gets up and say that I am the original party, and if he is getting that kind of a ruling in his favor, then what will happen to the other lot? If such kind of ayaram gayaram culture will continue and prosper, I think this will not augur well for a country like us or for a state like Maharashtra. As you rightly said, Sujit, this is a high time the political parties will definitely have to swing into action and curb this menace.
Correct. Shubham, with your permission, may I ask Mr. Zog one more question?
Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Zog, tell in your professional opinion, and you have a huge experience as far as politics is concerned. In your professional opinion, wouldn't it be good if there was a merger between Congress and NCP? Wouldn't that be good for the larger good of NCP and Sharad Pawar and Congress? Because Congress is leaderless, Sharad Pawar is partyless. So wouldn't that be a perfect merger from outside perspective?
Sujit, yeah, you're right. Those who have remained in the Congress party, some of the veterans, which I don't want to name here, but to whom I have been talking in person, they are of the candid and clear opinion that if had Mr. Pawar been with us, party would have not just gone to this kind of a scenario, but there will be a kind of a weightage that the party has got. As you rightly said, Mr. Pawar has got, encompassing across the political parties as a network. He has got a command. He has got the friendship with practically all parties. And if he had remained in the Congress party at this point in time, where Congress is leaderless, Congress is directionless, despite having a presence across the country, he is unable to set up a kind of a counter narrative to Ram Lalla and Hindutva. I think had Mr. Pawar along with some certain veteran leaders, the situation may have been different. That's what their leaders are of the view. And I strongly feel Mr. Sharad Pawar definitely is a guy or is a political, animal who will definitely like to see that the Congress's party, you must have seen, even though when there used to be initial talks of formation of India bloc, he always used to be categorical in saying, Congress party has to be an integral part or a pole situation in the India bloc. See, he was knowing that Congress's presence is important. Congress's, hand is definitely sarvadur jo bolte hai wo hai. Iska impact hona chahiye to bring in all other like-minded parties together. But look at what has happened. Because of that Congress's, so-called arrogance, because of that mentality that we are the only party which is still ruling the nation, I think all those others have started basically not joining the India bloc, or it is in fact civilian links. You must have heard today, the latest was Farooq Abdullah's National Conference in Jammu Kashmir. So as you rightly said, had Mr. Pawar with the Congress or having, kind of an alignment, but, remaining in the Congress, that would have definitely benefited the Congress party, keeping aside the internal factionalism, groupism, and that anti-Maratha, that attitude that has to be applied since, last so many years. If that Congress would have changed, if the Congress would have definitely benefited with Mr. Pawar on board.
Yes.
Right. I think we have with us Mr. Naseem Siddiqui. He's the spokesperson of the NCP Sharad Chandra Pawar faction. Mr. Siddiqui, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Your first reaction to the Speaker ruling? He's saying that Ajit Pawar has the legislative majority and he's the real NCP. Your first reaction, please.
You know that what Election Commission did, and on the same line, Mr. Narwekar, Speaker of the Maharashtra Assembly, has given a judgment which is wrong. Everyone knows that NCP means Sharad Pawar and Sharad Pawar means NCP. Before 25 years, is what established on 10th June 1999 at Shivaji Park by the Sharad Pawar. Sharad Pawar is the leader, but we know in Maharashtra there is a gang named Ali Baba and 40 Chor. Ali Baba and 40 Chor, that they have given wrongful decision. We will go in Supreme Court against the decision of Mr. Speaker.
Right.
Naseem bhai, Shubham, may I ask a question with your permission?
Sure.
Yeah.
So Naseem bhai and I are old friends. We go a long way, Naseem bhai, and I'm so happy to see you. Naseem bhai, मुझे एक बात बताइए कि क्या ये अच्छा नहीं होता अगर शरद पवार और एनसीपी जो बचे हैं, जो शरद पवार जी के साथ बचे हैं, अगर वो कांग्रेस के साथ ज्वाइन करते तो क्या ये एक टर्न ऑफ द इवेंट नहीं होता?
देखिए, अगर ये तो हाई लेवल पर माननीय पवार साहब जो है इसका ठीक से जवाब दे सकते हैं, लेकिन 22 साल 24 साल पहले जब कांग्रेस से अलग हुए थे तो किसी आइडियोलॉजी की बुनियाद पे थे, और दोनों इंडिया जो ब्लॉक है, इंडिया ब्लॉक के दोनों पार्टनर हैं। इसलिए अगर हम ज्वाइन नहीं भी हुए हैं तो दोनों एक ही मकसद के लिए काम कर रहे हैं। दोनों इस एनडीए गवर्नमेंट को हराने के लिए, एनडीए सेक्युलरिज्म को बचाने के लिए इस देश में काम कर रहे हैं। मुझे लगता है अलग अलग विचारधारा रखकर भी एक साथ काम किया जा सकता है। अनेकता में एकता है।
सर, एक बात जो मन में बार बार आती है कि जो गुगली की बात की थी पवार साहब ने 2020 में, 2021 में, जो उन्होंने बोला था कि 19 में वो गुगली डाले थे बीजेपी को, क्या वो ऐसा हो सकता है कि 2024 के इलेक्शन के बाद वो वापस कोई गुगली डाले इस बार महाविकास आघाड़ी को? ऐसा हो सकता है?
देखिए, पवार साहब इस देश के बहुत सर्वोच्च नेता हैं, बहुत बड़े नेता हैं। वो राजनीति के भीष्म पितामह हैं। इसलिए पवार साहब जब भी कोई कदम उठाते हैं बहुत सोच समझकर उठाते हैं, और भविष्य में क्या होगा आज उसका कहना ठीक नहीं है। लेकिन मुझे यकीन है कि आने वाले दिनों में महाराष्ट्र में पवार साहब की क़यादत में, पवार साहब के नेतृत्व में फिर से एक बार जो है इंडिया अलायंस की जो है वो सरकार बनेगी।
तो आप ये बोल रहे हैं कि हो सकता है, मतलब बोलना तो मुश्किल है, ये मैं मानता हूं, ये बहुत क्लियर है कि पवार साहब का डिसीजंस बोलना बहुत मुश्किल है, प्रिडिक्ट करना बहुत मुश्किल है, पर ये आप ये बोल रहे हैं सर कि हो सकता है नसीम भाई कि आगे चल करके पवार साहब ये डिसाइड करे कि भाई हम बीजेपी अलायंस के साथ ज्वाइन करें 2024 के बाद?
ना, सवाल ही नहीं होता है। देखिए, पवार साहब कभी भी जो सेकुलरिज्म है उसका दामन नहीं छोड़ेंगे। पवार साहब कभी भी जो फिरका परस्त पार्टियां हैं उनका साथ नहीं देंगे, भ्रष्टाचार करने वाले लोगों का साथ। अगर पवार साहब की पूरी राजनीति जो है वो हमेशा बीजेपी के विरोध में रही है, आरएसएस के विरोध में रही है, तो पवार साहब कभी भी ऐसे लोगों के साथ हाथ मिलाने का काम नहीं करेंगे। वी विल कीप विद द इंडिया अलायंस ऑलवेज।
So, Naseem bhai, what exactly happened in 2019 then? Why was Mr. Pawar talking to BJP? Why was Mr. Pawar trying to keep Shiv Sena out and work with BJP? What was the reason then? Was something different then?
ये एक अफवाह है, और ये अफवाह वही लोग जो है उठा रहे हैं जो लोग आज बीजेपी का दामन पकड़ के सरकार में बैठे हैं। वेदर ही इज द प्रफुल्ल पटेल, वेदर ही इज द भुजबल, और ही इज द अजीत पवार, फ्रॉम लॉन्ग टाइम दे वर ट्राइंग टू गो इन पावर। सो बिकॉज दे हैव मेड ए बिग करप्शन, तो उन्होंने इतना बड़ा जो भ्रष्टाचार किया था, उनको लगता था कि वो बचाने के लिए भाजपा के साथ जाना चाहिए। बट शरद पवार साहब ऑलवेज वेरी अगेंस्ट विद दैट, देयर शुड बी नो अलायंस विद भारतीय जनता पार्टी। सो he said, and this rumor has been made by all these people who is in NCP, which Narwekar has said this is the real NCP. आज जो real NCP कहलाने वाले लोग हैं वो यही जो गैंग है, अली बाबा और 40 चोरों की जो गैंग है, इनकी ही कोशिश 2019 में थी, और आज वो प्रत्यक्ष तौर से बीजेपी के साथ बैठे हुए हैं। पवार साहब never tried to go with the BJP.
Sir, this was actually told by Sharad Pawar himself that he was playing a googly with BJP. Jog Saab, I would want to ask you. I'm sorry, Shubham, I am hijacking your program. Jog Saab, I wanted to ask you that is it that Sharad Pawar will never go with Bharatiya Janata Party? Do you think, as a political expert analysis yourself, do you think we can make a claim like that?
Sujit, one of these, the close associates of Mr. Sharad Pawar, in just one word, has, termed him the most unpredictable political leader in India. So, if the Mr. Pawar is going with a tag of unpredictable, having an unpredictability nature, so I don't see at this point in time what course of action he will take post 2024. But at this point in time, he is quite clear that he wants to align with the like-minded parties and take on BJP, Shinde-led Shiv Sena, and again his nephew turned rival Ajit Pawar. But as you rightly said, there is always if and but that is possible in politics. So what will happen 2024 is a very difficult scenario to predict right at this point in time.
Absolutely. Jog Saab, you put it so well. Naseem bhai, I want to ask you a question. Naseem bhai, I am asking a very basic question, sir. I am asking you बहुत मतलब बोलते हैं ना साधारण क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा हूँ सर. ये जो स्प्लिट हुआ है, ये जो अजित पवार और शरद पवार का स्प्लिट है, क्या ये वाकई में स्प्लिट है कि ये एक पॉलिटिकल स्ट्रैटेजी है? मैं एक आम इंसान की तरफ से पूछ रहा हूँ.
पॉलिटिकल स्ट्रैटेजी, अगर ये स्प्लिट करके वो बीजेपी का दामन नहीं पकड़ते तो आज उनमें से 7-8 लोग जेल की सलाखों के पीछे होते. तो इसलिए जेल जाने से बचने के लिए उनको माननीय भुजबल साहब ने बताया होगा कि जेल की तकलीफें क्या होती है. इसलिए वो जो लोग उनके साथ गए हैं वो जेल की तकलीफों से डर के और मोदी की वॉशिंग मशीन में जाके वो जो निरमा पाउडर होता है, मोदी पाउडर होता है, उससे वो उनको वॉश कर दिया बीजेपी ने और उनके भ्रष्टाचार जो है, जो कलंक था वो साफ हो गया और उनको गंगा जल पिला के उन्होंने जो है सबको पवित्र कर दिया है. इसलिए वो जेल के बाहर है. So actually they have gone to save their life, their property and their families. They are not on the ideology. वो किसी आइडियोलॉजी के साथ नहीं गए हैं. उनको अपने भ्रष्टाचार को बचाना है, पैसों को छुपाना है और खुद को जेल जाने से बचाना है. इसलिए वो आज सारे के सारे जिनके बारे में मोदी जी भ्रष्टाचार 70,000 करोड़ का भ्रष्टाचार का जिक्र जिस दिन मोदी साहब ने किया उसी के 7 दिन के अंदर अजीत पवार बीजेपी में शामिल हो गए. जिस दिन आदर्श का नाम लिया 2 दिन पहले व्हाइट पेपर पे प्रधानमंत्री ने, अशोक चौहान बीजेपी का दामन उन्होंने थाम लिया. तो जिसके खिलाफ ये बोलते हैं इसीलिए बोलते हैं कि वो इनका दामन थाम ले और वही हो रहा है. देयर इज ए नो पॉलिटिकल ड्रामा और नो पॉलिटिकल स्ट्रेटजी.
Shubham, I'm so sorry. I took over your program. I'm sorry. I'm back to you. Handing over to you. Sorry.
No, Mr. Siddiqui, one final word. After this verdict, now what is the plan? Will the Sharad Pawar faction go to the Supreme Court and challenge this order by the Speaker?
We will go to the Supreme Court and we will challenge the order of the Speaker.
Right. So we will end it there. As things stand, the Maharashtra Speaker, if you are still joining us now, the Maharashtra Speaker has ruled in favor of Ajit Pawar. He said that Ajit Pawar has the numbers. He has the legislative majority with him and hence he is the real NCP. However, it is pertinent to note that MLAs from neither side, that's the Sharad Pawar faction or the Ajit Pawar faction, have been disqualified. Like we saw a similar case in the Shiv Sena. In fact, in the case of Shiv Sena, the matter is still in the Supreme Court. It hasn't come up for hearing as of now. And as Mr. Siddiqui of the NCP Sharad Chandra Pawar faction told us that they will go to the Supreme Court as well. So that's all we have for now. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to HW News English.